Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, is changing how brands appear in search. As AI-generated answers start to bypass traditional links, companies have to adapt how they manage their presence for conversational queries. But the software market built to handle this shift is fractured. The tools currently available are split between lightweight diagnostic dashboards and heavy-duty execution platforms. This creates a dilemma. You have an entry-level tier at $79 a month and an enterprise tier at $1,250 a month, leaving a wide price gap in the middle. Visby AI represents that $79 starting point, functioning as a self-serve tracking dashboard. GeoForge occupies the $1,250 tier as an execution platform. The price difference comes down to the execution gap. One tool is designed to measure your visibility, while the other is designed to actively close it. To understand where that enterprise money goes, we need to look at the specific mechanics of how both tools handle tracking, content scaling, and publishing. Evaluating these platforms comes down to an ROI calculation, the cost of automated software execution versus the cost of your team's manual labor. Both platforms share a baseline capability, tracking exactly where your brand appears in AI-generated answers. Visby provides a wide market view, monitoring visibility across ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. The trade-off is that identifying a visibility gap doesn't close it. Your team still has to manually review those dashboards to figure out which tasks to prioritize. GeoForge narrows its tracking focus specifically to ChatGPT and Google AI overviews. It sacrifices direct tracking of Claude and Gemini to provide deeper integration with Google's commercial search outputs. Beyond tracking, the more significant difference is how each tool generates content recommendations. Visby relies on public web signals to perform its automated gap analysis. This keeps the setup simple, but the resulting content recommendations can be generic because they aren't grounded in your company's unique intellectual property. GeoForge uses a feature called BaseForge to ingest proprietary internal data, like sales calls, subject matter expert interviews, and product specs. It uses that internal knowledge to create original, high information gain content that large language models are more likely to prioritize and cite. This requires more upfront effort. Getting legal and IT to clear the upload of internal documents involves significant setup time and organizational buy-in. Visby diagnoses your brand based on what is already public. GeoForge attempts to build unique authority from the inside out. Next, we have to look at the actual physical output, generating and publishing the optimized content. Visby limits content generation. Depending on your pricing tier, your output is capped at 5 or 15 articles per month. These limits keep server costs low, which allows Visby to maintain its $79 price point. For enterprise brands that need to address dozens of search queries quickly, these caps create an operational bottleneck. GeoForge removes this bottleneck by offering unlimited content production. This volume comes with a fixed cost. You pay the $1,250 premium every month, regardless of your output, so it requires active use to justify the expense. Finally, there is the hurdle of getting that content formatted, live, and cited. With Visby, your internal team has to take the generated articles and handle CMS uploading, formatting, and link building themselves. GeoForge uses SiteForge and direct CMS integration to automate this. It pushes content directly to WordPress or Webflow and manages citation outreach. However, direct publishing requires giving third-party software access to your website CMS, a connection many corporate IT departments will restrict. Visby identifies the finish line, but leaves you to run the last mile. GeoForge attempts to automate the entire process. The right choice depends on which software matches your team's budget and execution capacity. We can map this by looking at your available budget against your internal team's capacity to execute tasks. Visby AI fits the quadrant for a lower financial budget, but high internal capacity to do work. This is ideal for early-stage startups and solo marketers who have the time to manually publish and pitch citations using Visby's diagnostic data. The standard GeoForge platform maps to a higher budget, but lower internal capacity to execute. This suits agencies or mid-market teams that need an engine to scale visibility without hiring more writers. Finally, the GeoForge managed service plots at the top left edge, representing a maximum budget and zero internal capacity. At $2,500 a month, this is for enterprise teams with no bandwidth that need a hands-off, done-for-you Geo department. If you choose Visby, remember that a $79 tool will not do the heavy lifting of execution for you. And if you look at GeoForge, do not invest in an enterprise platform if your team only needs a reporting dashboard. Success in AI search requires aligning your software investment with your team's actual capacity to do the work.